So you've clicked this video because you want to learn more about coordinating conjunctions. So before we do that, please hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you can help my channel grow. I would really appreciate that. Now let's get into it. So you will learn what coordinating conjunctions are, what coordinating conjunctions are used for, and when and how to use coordinating conjunctions. As a little bit of extra information in this video, I'm also talking about commas and when to put the comma in with the coordinating conjunction, because I think that's really important. But if you want to learn a little bit more about commas, I will link that video in the top right hand corner for you when it gets uploaded in roughly a week's time. So what are coordinating conjunctions? Coordinating conjunctions are words that connect other words, clauses, and phrases together. So they make our speech and writing flow more easily and make them more interesting. Here's a basic coordinating conjunction acronym for you. Fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Of course, there are other coordinating conjunctions that you can use, but these are the most commonly used in speech and writing. So let's look at what they're used for. So for explains reason or purpose. I can't go out to dinner tonight, for I have no money. The toddler is crying, for he is tired. So when using for as a coordinating conjunction, it must be preceded by a comma because it's connecting two independent clauses. Now, if you're not too familiar with independent and dependent clauses, I will link that video in the top right-hand corner for you to check out to help you understand that a little bit more. But basically, the first example, I can't go out to dinner tonight, that makes sense on its own. And the second part of that sentence, I have no money, also makes sense on its own. So they are both independent clauses, but we've chosen to put them in one sentence, and we've used the coordinating conjunction of for to do that, which is why we needed to put a comma before for our coordinating conjunction. And the same with the second one. The toddler is crying, for he is tired. And connects two or more items or things. I would like ham and cheese in my sandwich. My brother is a doctor and my sister is a nurse. So the first example didn't need a comma before the word and because it was followed by a dependent clause. Cheese in my sandwich doesn't make sense. So, or and cheese in my sandwich isn't a complete thought. So we relied on more information. I would like ham and cheese in my sandwich, no comma needed. But my brother is a doctor, that makes sense on its own, and my sister is a nurse makes sense on its own. So that is why we needed to use a comma, because we're connecting two independent clauses. Nor places two negatives together. I don't like monsters, nor do I like dragons. I can't write poetry, nor can she. Now, the second example didn't need a comma before the word nor because it's connecting two subjects or people. And yeah, so we just didn't need it because if we put it there, it would actually create confusion and ambiguity in that sentence. So let's move on to but. But shows contrast. I don't like pumpkin, but I like pumpkin soup. You can read your book, but you can't read it aloud. So our first example needed a comma because we've connected two independent clauses, but the second example didn't need a comma because the second part, you can't read it aloud, is dependent on a little bit more information because we're wondering what can't they read aloud? You know what I mean? And or shows an alternative or choice. You can have carrots or celery. You can go for a run now, or you can go for a run tonight. So again, the first example didn't need a comma because it was dependent. So celery isn't a sentence on its own, doesn't make sense on its own. We're wondering why have you written celery? So it needed more information, so it needed to connect to that sentence without a comma. And the second example has, again, two independent clauses, which is why we've used the comma. Yet also shows contrast. I don't like tomatoes, yet I like tomato sauce. You said you would stop talking, yet you continued to do so. So shows an effect or consequence. You didn't get your way, so you threw a tantrum. I was hot, so I went for a swim. Again, please take note of where the commas are. Now, this is what I'm talking about here, about how we can extend our writing and make our sentences a bit more interesting. So extending sentences examples. So I went to the pool. Yep, that makes sense. It's all good. But I went to the pool for it was hot. Okay, so we're giving reason. I went to the pool because it was hot. Again, giving reason. My class was chaotic. My class was chaotic, but the students still completed their work. My class was chaotic, but the students still completed their work, so I was happy. See how the sentence, as it got bigger, I used two coordinating conjunctions in the last part of the last example there, and it made the sentence more interesting. Instead of just saying my class was chaotic, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. It is a independent clause, made total sense, but I've given a little bit more as to why the class was chaotic. Well, not really why, but like what else happened in that class. Another example, I like this shirt. I like this shirt because it is lightweight. I like this shirt because it is lightweight and colourful. We didn't need any commas in that sentence. Now remember, if the coordinating conjunction is connecting two independent clauses, it should be preceded by a comma. Now, a little task for you, just so you can practice. Write down some basic sentences, then use one or more conjunctions to give the sentence more detail. So like how I just did, where it was my class was chaotic, then it was my class was chaotic, but they still got their work done, and then so I was happy. So why don't you do that now? Do that with a couple of different sentences and write the example in the comments. So in summary, conjunctions or coordinating conjunctions are words that connect other words, clauses, and phrases together. And our basic coordinating conjunction acronym is FANBOYS, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you got this far, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said, leave your coordinating conjunction extended sentence down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.